Look at this. I'm walking upstairs. Check this out. I'm walking down the stairs. Man of many talents. Man, why did I have to be the one to notice this? Does that bring you pain? Kneeling on, just seeing me kneel on it? Does it bring me pain? Wish I would have thought of this earlier. Oh yeah, come to daddy. Alright, I know after last year, coming into this year, you guys have been feeling shorted. No first-hand experience in the rake tractor. Well, that's all going to change today. So go ahead, put your fist down, sit down, enjoy this video, because we're going to do some raking, Dad's going to do some baling, and maybe, just maybe, we'll do some cutting. Whew, it's out in here. I've about, get that AC cranked, holy cow. Dad's just going to start feeding, we're going to start raking. So we're having troubles with this hood right here, where the bolts go in. To hold that hood down, it kind of broke off, and so I think Dad and Jeff, they put a bunch of holes in there, put a bunch of bolts in there, spray painted it green, and you know, it doesn't look too bad if you don't look at it. Drive along the corn. We got that 3-acre patch back and to the right. We'll start going down the rows once Dad gets here. He'll chase us around the outside, those outside passes. If I do those first, when I'm turning, I can't lift the rake high enough. I'd be pulling those rows everywhere. So when you're raking by yourself, you just hit the rows and then do the outside last. But when there's a baler with you, you just hit those outside rows so then you don't have to drive on them anymore. They get those baled up. It's probably about done feeding. It took me forever driving down the road. I had to go about 14 miles an hour. If you get going too fast, these front wheels, well actually all 4 of these front wheels, they start spazzing out on you. We're gonna have to eat a little corn, just a little bit. That stuff ain't gonna yield much anyway. That'll do. Looks like we lost the owner's manual. I didn't plan on reading it anyway. I forgot to tell you, when you're riding back on the farm equipment and you're raking with Sonne Farms, you gotta wear ear protection. It gets pretty painful back there, don't it? When we're raking, we skip a row each time, because one time I didn't. And I learned that day. Did some learning. I turned too sharp, my back tire hit that jack, and now every time I use that jack, it's harder than a son of a gun because somebody bent the living heck out of it. But that's how you learn. You gotta break something. I didn't write the rules. I sure do follow them though. Heck yeah. This raking thing is way faster than cutting. It's not even here yet. I'm starting on the outside rows. We'll probably be out of here before he even gets over here. There he is. Looks like some decent hay out here.
Yeah, this is good. It's just too small.
Yeah, we need about 100 more acres of that. That'd make a lot of hay.
300.
That
Yeah.
too?
Yeah.
400? 500?
Did I ever tell you about the time back in 2000? Well, I think it's the winter of 2000. We were short hay and it started snowing November 3rd, and we bought 26 semi-loads of CRP hay, my dad and older brother and I, out at Stefan Mission to get by. And the next spring the guy called us and asked us if we wanted to put his hay up out there. And we went and looked at it, and we were completely out of hay. And we went and looked at it. One field looked kind of like this and the rest of them looked kind of not so great, but we were so out of hay we decided to put it up out there. And when we made the agreement that night, it rained 3 inches, and we got 1,438 round bales off that 500 acres out there, and it's usually dry out there, so that got us replenished, and that's all I got to say about that.
That sounds like a lot of bale moving.
Was that a long story? Yeah, we didn't haul them one at a time in the back of the pickup, I'll tell you that.
Smart move. So I just got down here, and then one more pass at the end, and then we'll go to the 10-acre patch, and we'll meet Dad back over there. Now with this small of a field and that bale accumulator, we should be able to get them all dang near right here. But usually there's like less than a load anyway. You know, 3 acres. If you are lucky enough to get 3 bales to the acre, that's 9 bales. So we only got 1 row left. And you might think, why not just leave it? You're not putting 2 together anyway. Well, they get kind of matted down, and it can be difficult for the baler to do a good job to pick it up. So we just kind of one rake it, give it a nice flip, fluff it up, and then we'll be out of here and try to drive over all these rows. I think the corn around here just looks phenomenal. It's beautiful looking stuff. It's just showing, you know, signs of drought, stress. If we just get a 2-incher, give us a dang 2-incher. Oh, we will be sitting pretty for a good while. I still think it's got all kinds of potential. Look at that stuff. A 2-incher's all I ask for. No hail, all day kind of a rain, nice and slow. No big wind, no frost. I'm just asking for a 2-incher. That they're trenching it. I can see Dad through the trees. Looks like he's just finishing up and he's heading down over here. So when he gets over here, he'll chase me around the field and we'll get these end rows off. Last of the raking. Looks like Dad put his drop zone right there. Got some bales sitting down there. We'll be done raking here in a minute. about lunchtime yet?
I have no idea.
Me neither.
We don't have anything called. There's no garage. No burgers.
Guess we're going hungry. I doubt that. How about that? Alright, so it's about 11 o'clock. It's about 11 o'clock. And I'm driving like 13, 14 miles an hour. So by the time I get home, make food, it'll be lunchtime. So we're gonna do that, and then we got a couple other things going on later today. You know, it's only 11 o'clock, so we're not just gonna sit around the rest of the day like I've been doing for the last 3 weeks. It's slow going. All that for 13 acres, but hey, we'll take all the bales we can get. We're all in a day's work. Geez, Dad, you could have just told me. It's not a very subtle way to tell me you want me to put in a bunch of fence this year. I'm gonna need a couple weeks though. Gotta love new fence. I'm on the hot seat. The rest of this day is gonna be devoted to murder of weeds. Weed murder. Best kind of murder out there. That's all I gotta say about that. Rest in peace. Actually, weeds don't rest in peace. Rest without the peace. Liquid weed death. It's gonna be a hot load. We're gonna go to a couple pastures, one or two or three. Depends on how hot it gets. I'm wearing a long sleeve black shirt in the summer, so we're gonna fill this up with water, start killing some weed. Mostly musk thistle is what we're after. Maybe some Canada thistle. Basically most things that aren't grass. We got about 20 gallons of mixture in there, and if you didn't know, and you wanted to know, a gallon of water weighs about 8.34 pounds, so we got about dang near 170 pounds of water, or liquid, in that back tank. And then you set me down on there, and you know I'm about the same as that. So this machine's pretty well gonna be maxed out. Look, she's squatting. Putting some work on that suspension today. Man, I'm like sitting like in a low rider. All right, let's go. I hope I don't regret not putting sunscreen on. That wasn't pretty. Look at what we got here. Darn Canadians. This is one of the haylands we got left to cut. Grass. So I suppose I should probably take care of these Canadians. There's a whole bunch of them. So this here Canada thistle, it's a perennial. It's a noxious weed in the state of South Dakota. So basically, you see it, you gotta kill it legally. You're obligated to kill it. And it's a real son of a gun. Sitting decent on mineral. This is the first time in 3 years that we have been able to drive through this. It has been underwater and now it is completely dry. That is not a good thing. Hello! Looks like a nice group. I didn't bring any pearlets. I'm sorry. Not seeing any bad eyes. Hello. Guess we'll keep on trucking. They don't have that many flies on them. We have been using the extra garlic mineral this year. Maybe it's working. It's horrible. Look at this pasture. There are a couple things that could be nibbled on, but it's just brown. Only thing green are these dang musk thistles. The dreaded musk thistle right next to a Canada thistle. It's a perennial. This one's a biennial, so they both live multiple years. What sucks about these guys, the fact that it's growing and it has a head, means we missed it last year, because in that first year it's just all vegetative growth. Second year is when they actually put seeds on, and they are a royal pain in the arse. Last year I came to this specific pasture at least 7 times spraying for these, but we never get ahead of them. This year is by far the best because in the fall of last year we got the sprayer out and we sprayed the whole thing versus just spot spraying. Costs a lot more, helps you get ahead of them. We're spraying on them, basically makes them grow themselves to death. They start twisting, and it's basically a synthetic growth hormone. And by basically, I mean that's what it is. Should we stick our hand down there, see what happens? The chemicals, people always ask, is it safe? I don't know, not for this musk thistle, that's for dang sure. frustrating part about this is you can see Dad was here, he sprayed those, they're killed good. There's one right there, and there's one right there. You just drive by them, they're too small to see, and then a week later, bam, there's something bigger than what you already sprayed. It's hard to see all of them. All right, so if you look here, you got a big old patch of Canadians. And so you think, all right, let's just spray it all down. But if you look there, we got a patch of soybeans. You got a soybean field. This chemical would desecrate that soybean field if it were to fly over there. So you gotta be careful. Don't be shooting it up in the air, kind of stay low. I hear the guy that runs that ground right next door is a real prick too. I think his name's Brian Sonne. Someone lost the tag. Getting a little hot. We're gonna go hit one more pasture, head home. So this pasture is right next to where we were raking and baling earlier today. 20 bales. 20 and then a part bale. So that 10 acres actually did about 2 bales an acre. I would not have guessed that. I would have guessed more like maybe 1.5, but nice. Got a little hay. When I was cutting this hay a couple days ago, I could see a giant group of thistles over there. Been losing sleep over it, so let's go take care of those. This pasture actually has some pretty decent grass left, but a lot of it's headed out, and of course the cows got to be picky. God forbid they eat what's in front of them, so they're not going to like that, but I think as the summer goes on, they'll get hungry enough and they'll eat it. They'll grub it down. Yep. And this right here is what a farmer loses sleep over. And also when you drive a long ways from home in the heat and then your sprayer quits working. There we go. And then here's that smaller 3-acre patch that we did this morning. That's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in there, so that was more than 3 bales to the acre. And I'm sure there's a little small one that Dad brought with him. I'm pretty sure there's been a couple years where I couldn't fit all the bales on one load with the bale trailer, which we hold 15, 10 for 3 acres. Not bad, especially in the worst drought of 129 years. I could not tell you the last time that was dried up. Maybe before they started digging. Yeah. Hi cows, how you doing? We need a replenishing rain. Yep. I sure do hope this is a once in a lifetime thing driving down in the bottom of this. How you doing? Calf with a bad eye. Son of a gun. Fling some darts someday soon. Get out of here. Kind of clouded up a bit. Close to half that left. That's crazy. A lot of times I can't even get through one pasture with how much I just filled with. So definitely a lot less weeds this year. We've done our due diligence. We've been spraying a lot the last few years trying to get it under control. It's finally starting to pay off. We do have a couple days coming, 30%, 40% chance of rain. Really banking on one of those just firing it up and giving us a good drop of rain. You saw the pastures, we certainly need it. That right there is why we always have flat tires. It's like Dad's bringing home just a part load. You know what that means? We're done hauling hay from that big field. So with all that being picked up, we only got the 10 and the 20 that we did earlier today. That's not a cigarette, that's the screw I just picked up. So not too much else that needs done in the coming couple days. Actually, it's Friday and I have to go to a wedding, and I got grass seed all stuck in my brace that I have to wear and look halfway presentable. So next week we'll start cutting some more hay. Following week we might be moving some manure, spreading that out. Yikes. You all right, buddy? Hey? Ooh. Other than that, it's been a nice day. Pretty stoked that the clouds kind of covered the sun because it was getting a little hot. Sure do hope you enjoyed watching the video. I'm liking this thing. It's sweet. I haven't personally picked up any hay because my knee would be hurting at the end of that day. Seems like it does save a lot of time when we go to retrieve our bales. Hope you enjoyed watching the video. We would like to see you next time. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and have a good one. Holy buckets. gonna take a couple passes and a couple prayers to get this killed.